fucking believe that it's the right Doctor Who from scratch? Hello. It's spoopy season. It's gonna be Halloween soon. We're gonna do a Halloween thing. Isn't that exciting? I think that's fucking exciting. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm burnt out on Wiki Roulette, so I'm not doing them at the moment. But I'm doing Right a Doctor Who from scratch. Can't just let the channel die. Or we could do a Writing Jenny Everywhere from scratch. Should do another Wiki Roulette. You know... oh, you've got a proper intro now? Yeah, I've had a proper intro for a while now. Happy Pride Month indeed. But yeah, it's spoopy season. It's spoopy season, so I'm going to be doing spoopy things. Haven't planned anything yet, because I don't really make plans. I just kind of, you know, do this, but still. Shall we do a Halloween themed story? We are going to do, like, write a Doctor Who Halloween special from scratch, I think closer to the actual date. But if you want, we can do a Halloween-y themed story today as well. I'm more than happy to do that. Happy Skeleton War. Put the Midnight Monster in it. People have always been allowed to be gay, and if anyone says that you're not allowed to be gay, they're actually breaking the rules of life. Write a Nightmare Before Xmas sequel from scratch. See, that's also a good idea. We can do things. We can make things happen. We can definitely make things happen. Don't make plans, that sounds like the Doctor. Well, yeah, I mean, I try to be spontaneous, and I mean, this is my job, and I mean, you put the minute at your job, surely. Nah, people are allowed to be straight. Now, that is true. That is true. I'm streaming on Twitch tonight on Wild Magic for 4 times longer than I'm going to be streaming here. So you should probably go on there and follow me on Twitch at Wild Magic. I am the Doctor. Yes, that is true. I am a canonical incarnation of the Doctor, or at the very least will inevitably be at some point. World where gay is the norm and straight is bullied, or whatever it was called. No, it's just everyone's gay. You don't get it. There's no straights to bully. Everyone is just gay. It's fine. Unfortunately, Nightmare Before Christmas has been ruined by my step-grandmother, who is a very cliche step-relative. I have one of those too. I've just got an ad for investments in stock trading. I'm so sorry you got an ad for investments in stock trading. Remember the scene from Family Guy about NBC and what Jack said in it? I do. And can I tell you that when you mentioned that, Xavier, that bit from Family Guy immediately fucking popped up in my head. Have I ever told you my theory, Xavier, that the reason that British people like Family Guy way more than Americans do is because British people are a lot more, like, trained to accept and enjoy non sequiturs because of sketch comedy, specifically, like, Monty Python stuff? Have I ever told you about my theory as to that? Because, like, I've noticed that with American sensibilities and shit, like, they need things to make sense. You know what I'm saying? In a way that, like, a lot of Europeans just don't when it comes to, like, media and entertainment and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they need, like, the catharsis of a payoff. And for a payoff, things have to make sense before it. Ryan, should I invest in Bitcoin? No. That's an interesting theory, not gonna lie. I'm glad you like my theory. I think it is like that need for, like, structure. I think it comes from that need for, like, structure, which is ironic. It's ironic because, like, for all the talk of, like, freedom and, like, doing whatever you want, like, it's a very regimented way of, like, living your life, and it's a very regimented, like, worldview. Like, they salute flags when they're little kids. Can you imagine anything more fucking psychotic? Anyway, Family Guy was great, but Brian was such a liberal that it got unbearable. Yeah. Oh, God, Ian, I said that because I'm a socialist, but you're a fucking fascio. Let me just get rid of you really quickly. That's what I get for reading the comments before the names. It's ironic because I actually agree with you on that, but for like different reasons. Anyway, bye. I do like the bit where like Quagmire calls out Brian and is like, man, you're such an unbearable like cliche of a West Wing liberal. And why doesn't Brian just go, you're a fucking child rapist, like fuck you, and then kick him in his testicles, which he was well within his rights to do. I want to watch Classic Who, but the only way to watch it in Canada is to use BritBox. And while we have it on our TVs, that may have been from our provider right now, there's no account. Where Ian Linus accidentally based. Don't ever say that again, Ian. Nick, sorry. Wash your mouth out with fucking soap. Obligatory liberal does not mean the same as left-leaning. Yeah, I do think that I think describing Brian's views, I think liberal is probably a pretty accurate way. I just don't think Family Guy is that funny, to be honest. I like sketch comedy, just not Family Guy. No, that's completely fair, Najawin. I'm talking about, like, the average American viewer. I'm not talking about you specifically, who has very esoteric and individual tastes. I have never laughed at a Family Guy joke ever. Well, fair enough. But once again, I'm talking about the average person. The right answer by the wrong calculation. I am not the biggest Family Guy fan either. I'm more of an American Dad person, to be honest, but I do recognise that Family Guy is immensely popular and beloved in the UK. Okay, I've seen like 15 seasons of that show. If I didn't find it funny, I would have weird motives. That's true. That's true. I do want to give Bob's Burgers a go. I do think absurdism survives through Family Guy a little. I think so too. Roger is an amazing character. I really like American Dad. I don't like adult comedies generally, and I really don't like adult animated comedies. But I like South Park when it hits. I love the Venture Brothers, which I think is the peak of like adult animated comedy. I love the Boondocks as well. The Boondocks is very good. I think that might be too much for some of you though. I like American Dad because Felicia's a really big American Dad fan and kind of turned me onto it. But like, I enjoy American Dad more than like 90% of those shows. Simpsons is decent too, but I don't really see that as like an adult animated sitcom. That's more of like a family show. It's a bit like Doctor Who, you know what I mean? I think most of the adult animated comedies didn't need to go on for as long as they did. I agree with that. Like, I think American Dad probably should have ended at season 8. How dare you imply I haven't watched the Boondocks? I didn't imply that you hadn't watched the Boondocks. Once again, speaking in averages is not a personal attack or a statement on you personally, because I don't know any of you. You all know me much better than I know you, and you barely know me. I'm currently writing a Doctor Who fanfic, although it's less like an episode and more domestic, as the Doctor might say. Well, as long as you're enjoying it, that's the only thing that really matters. I haven't been able to get into South Park. That's completely fair. Once again, it's an acquired taste. I think a big thing with South Park as well is like, yeah, you have to remember that like they don't agree with you on a lot of shit. Now you were talking to me specifically, I could tell. You don't even have a number. Look, number 3 with some flags. Alright. What we do it again, we're doing right. See, this is the thing, is I feel like we don't ever end up writing a story now, where it's just I come on and we talk for an hour. And I'm fine with that too. Trey and Matt are profoundly selfish people. Yes, I mean, they are libertarians. In a way that I can't understand. I can understand it. I can, like, understand it just fine. They're libertarians. South Park has done real damage to our culture. That's also true. Yet, despite that, I do really like the SP fan animation suction cut, man. South Park has also been a really powerful avenue for speaking truth to power. It can be both of those things at once. Like, some things can be messy and complicated. Give me a damn number already. Why am I capped at 50, not 76? They're librarians? They are librarians, yes. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a pretty funny comedy show that's made by some people who happen to be libertarian. Like, I don't think it's that big a fucking deal. And I think that, like, I think the level to which people react to it is a bit silly. And I also really respect the fact that they've responded to the onslaught of, like, censorious lawsuits that they've received lately by, like, sticking their middle fingers up, which shows a lot more courage, conviction, and spine. I feel like we're treading the line of the no politics rule so close, and that's all I'll say. Well, I mean, I'm the one streaming. I do enjoy South Park though. We might have crossed it. That's okay. I think we've crossed it as well. I do think we should pull back probably a little bit. Does anyone have any actual suggestions for doctors? Let's have a look. I like that, Missy Clara. Okay. Alright, 12th Doctor, 10th Doctor. Let's go back to Doctor Who. Okay. 8th Doctor. Okay. Gang of Doctor. I don't want a timeline where he didn't die. Who cares, man? They should have stood up when other people were being hurt by Trump's policies, not when, oh my god, he might cancel our $1 billion show. That's actually fair. It's actually a fair criticism. Okay. Donald Trump, no. We're not doing that. The Emperor. Trying to go for a certain vibe. Brian Blessed Doctor is pretty good. Hang on, I'll put the wheel up in a second. Okay. Where is it? Where did I put it today? It's over here. There's the wheel. Way too big, but that's okay. You guys like the wheel nice and big, don't ya? Don't ya? Hey? There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. The Christopher Lee Doctor. 11th Doctor. The Valeyard. Alright. Okay. There's a lot of requests here. Vincent Price Doctor. Biblically accurate Doctor. Daniel Radcliffe Doctor. Trying to think of good horror actors who would pull off a Doctor incarnation. ChatGPT Doctor, you have ChatGPT write all of the Doctor's lines as a generic Doctor, but the rest of the story is given for them to fill in. Ah, man, the Doctor who hates the Master, for they are the masturbator. Speaking of the Bible, they're making a Jesus origin story horror movie with Nicolas Cage as Joseph. I like the Dolly Parton Doctor. The Dolly Parton Doctor is pretty good. RTD Doctor era Doctor if he was honest. It's just a talking painting of Jesus. I gotta be honest, ever since that Interstellar episode of Doctor Who, the one where you know the one I mean. You know the one I mean. The Israel-Palestine one. Ever since that one, like, I just kind of fuck Doctor Who, to be honest. I've, like, lost, like, everything for it. I don't know, man. I don't know. At least while the current people are, like, in charge, I just fucking hate Doctor Who, man. And I can't believe I'm at a point where I'm saying that, but, like, I don't know. It's just where I'm at. The 10th Doctor, but he constantly tries to defend you. For fuck's sake. No. Why would I ever consider, like, willingly putting that on the wheel? I've noticed I've taken more of an interest in Jenny everywhere recently. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. It was cool while it lasted, but, like, I'm also sick of the fan base, and, like, I was really badly, like, hurt by a lot of the fan base, and, like, a lot of those wounds have never really been given time to heal. And when you compound that with the fact that, like, I mean, in its current phase, it's like camp neoliberal guff. Next stream, Ryan is a mind-broken chud saying, let's write a 40k. No, I'd honestly just rather stream on Twitch. That's the honest truth of it, is because, like, I mean, at least there I'm doing stuff that I fucking enjoy. The misogyny. The finale really drained me, to be honest. Yeah, the whole thing drained me too, Najawin. Like, I felt like my sensibilities were fucking offended, and I'd rather talk about that than just do this, to be honest. This is a rebellion against myself. I'm gonna spin the wheel, fuck it. The Even Allen is quieting down. I feel like Peter Finch and the Movie Network are mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. I don't know what the Mont Pelerin Society have to do with Doctor Who. I don't know what any of that means. It looks like Brian Blessed, Doctor. You get it? Brian Blessed. He's a cultural meme because he's big and loud. Oh, hail the wheel. Like me, I'm small and loud. Anyway, let's, like the whole season in combination with season 1. The politics of the show are frustratingly self-congratulatory whilst devoid of much meaning beyond basic stuff. I want advanced human rights themes, not just basic human rights. I would argue that they fuck up basic human rights, Xavier, because they got a doctor played by a genocide survivor to torture a genocide survivor for fun in their episode about a genocide that's happening in the real world. The government, the BBC is run by, had a huge part in. Like, I don't know. It makes me feel fucking icky. I don't know. And, like, there's a conflict for me between, I am a creator who wants to be ethical and create content and create a community where people who are vulnerable can feel safe, where good humanistic principles are what guide our actions, and we can also have a good laugh and talk about, like, fun shit and, like, make stupid jokes. But that has to be there. And also the fact that Doctor Who decided to both sides the fucking Holocaust 2 Electric Boogaloo, and that's there forever. Like, it will always be enshrined in stone that when post-war British cultural artifact Doctor Who was confronted with the kind of horrors that it had been instructing us to say never again to, it just fucking turned a blind eye and decided to wash its hands of it and go, we probably shouldn't say it at this moment, but, like, you know what? If I have to be ahead of the curve, I'll be ahead of the curve. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, as an intelligent, moral human being, I can't be a brand ambassador for this shit anymore, man. Like, I don't know. I can't support it. And if that, like, upsets anyone, then, I mean, I'm sorry, but, like, as soon as we stop talking about just, like, life, and we switch back to which doctor we wanted to pick, I just felt like something in my soul, like, drop. You know what I'm saying? And, like... And Poppy Honey seemingly get off scot-free. Well, a protest song gets written about them. But yeah, the evil dude was Jace was genocided, that's the issue. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the song contest episode broke a lot of us, including me. I'm just having an honest conversation about it. I don't know. And honestly, I feel RTD regressed a lot some of the themes / ideas established in Classic Who. Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that. And then, I don't know, to be honest, also, like, the fact that a lot of other creators in the sphere, Ryan, I am genuinely serious when I say you should experiment with the format. Do you mean the writing from scratch? I agree. I think I should. I think the writing from scratch thing has, like, got actual legs and an actual, like, potential future. I don't know if it should necessarily be on YouTube, but I would be happy to continue the write from scratch. But, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, as it is, like, I don't know if I want to be on this team anymore. Frankly. And I mean, I don't know. I thought my problem was with, like, the creators who I saw, like, doing some, like, morally bankrupt shit. But, like, I think it's actually just, like, the culture of the thing itself. I mean, YouTube is much better for discoverability than Twitch. I know, that's true. You wanted to show off your improv skills, you could let us pitch random IPs and put them on the wheel. That's true. That's true. I think it's true. Twitch is better for monetization at the moment. It is pretty good for monetization. I make a lot more on Twitch than I do on YouTube. That's why I mainly do Twitch now, to be honest. It's just because it's more lucrative for me. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I might be a creative, but, like, it's my job. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always pushing you guys to follow the Twitch, is because that's where most of my, like, actual energy goes. You get to see, like, excited, energized Ryan on Twitch. You don't get to see, like, this. Wow, so relatable. This alien dude eats meat like us, not like those weird vegetarians who are really different from us normal people. It is weird that they walk back in being a vegetarian. I think, alright, Xavier, how about this? I think if you're going to make the Doctor eat meat again, fine, but they have to be kind of blasé about the idea of eating human flesh as a trade-off. How about that? How about that? They can eat meat again, but you have to use it to make them more alien. How does that sound? Because it also implies vegetarians are less relatable than aliens. Yes, it does. So what from scratch should we do next week? Give me some candidates. Let's decide what from scratch we're going to do next week when we hit this with a clean slate. Fuck all these doctors. The Doctor should be a cannibal. No! No! Because Time Lords and humans aren't the same fucking species, so no. At least make the morality more internally consistent. The Doctor should 100% eat humans. He should. Make a wheel. Halo? You want to do Halo? I'd do Halo. I think I'm well equipped to write a Halo story. Transformers! Sick. Love it. Ben 10? That's great, because I'll have to learn it all on the spot. Jenny Everywhere? We'll put Jenny Everywhere on that. Alien franchise. Alien's good. Alien is good. Bionicle! Transformers! But again, Pokemon. The new norm. I'm putting it on there. I'm not putting it on there. Fuck you. Because it's just going to be me doing political shit. The Conjuring. Alright. Alright. Bet. Chucky. 40k, but you have to make it optimistic and not edgy as a challenge. I can easily do that because I'll just give it the same tone as Helldivers. Easy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Merlin! I could go on at length about my problems with Merlin. Yay, Sherlock! I could go on at length about my problems with Sherlock. Sex and the City. DC Comics. I suppose, no, because DC means Detective Comics. So DC Comics would be Detective Comics. Supernatural. I've seen Supernatural, quite a bit of it, up to season 7, sorry. Can I write a coherent duel? Yes. Yes. You know why, Naja fan? I'll tell you how I know that I can write a coherent any anime battle, because I know the basic structure, narratively, of a professional wrestling match, and you can take the narrative structure of a professional wrestling match and apply it to any fight ever. The chat just lit the fuck up. I know! We have 18 suggestions here. Alright, class the famous Simpsons. We're gonna add an excessive amount to the wheel, and then whatever wins, wins. Alright? Just so you know. The Expanse. The Handmaid's Tale. Star Trek. Chuck. Friday the 13th. Dexter. Sonic. No, duels are actually quite complicated, to the point where there's a dual choreographer position for the anime, and he would complain about certain characters having stupid OP decks. So does that mean that if it lands on Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm going to have to do some actual research beforehand? Yeah, but like, every time I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh, they just make it up as they go along. Like, they just say things. Like, there's no way that the things they say in the anime are the rules to an actual card game. There's no way. You stand behind some form of mythology. What kind of mythology? The Room? The Boys? Charlotte? Look, the John Travolta movie, Look Who's Talking. War of the Worlds, Feet Ice Cube. Magic the Gathering. The Lion King. Keep him coming, keep him coming. Anne of the Green Gables. Always Sunny Again. Pretty sure Always Sunny is on there. I'm not doing that one, Vishan. Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Celtic mythology, Chinese mythology. Just lots of different mythologies. All the mythologies. Tracy Beaker. 21 Jump Street / 21. A Serbian. Ultimate Marvel. I've seen a Serbian film. I kind of liked it. I don't know what that says about me. I'm not sorry for my suggestions. Skibbity Toilet. I know more about Skibbity Toilet than you probably think I do. D&D. D&D would be fun. Diablo. Okay. Should we see how many entries we have? We have 47 entries. I think we can make it 50. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. A Mr. Beast video. Friends, the sitcom Friends. Zombies. Wallace and Gromit. Garden of Ban. Five Nights at Fruity's. Silk Song. The Garbage Pail Kids movie. Not the cards, the movie. Specifically. Food Fight. And Marvel Zombies. Oh, and the Teletubbies. JJK, I don't know what that is, but I'll put it on there. Super Mario Brothers. Is JJK Jujutsu Kaisen? 28 later. Tweeties. What is Booba? Is that a real thing? Austin Powers. I know what that is. It is? Ah. Okay, Final Destination. MHA. Dick and Dom. Mission Impossible. Red Dwarf. Bible Man. Very creepy kid show made by... Oh, that's perfect. Death Note. Nor Harry Potter. I don't know what that is. Guys, there are 72 fucking things here. Will Smith's After Earth. Marlin. Right as something blue audio live stream. Evangelion is such a fucking banger suggestion, Naja. Yes. Broadchurch. Titanic. Titanic, the legend lives on. Ah. Spin it. Yeah, we need to decide one and then make a thumbnail for next week. Hang on, let me save this wheel real quick. Franchise wheel. There. Are you guys ready to spin it? I'm ready to spin it, because otherwise we're going to be here all day. There's already 77 fucking things on this. I will open it to suggestions at other times. If you didn't get to yours, I am so sorry. But there's already 77. I got Marlon on there, though. King Toby, you're all good. I got Marlon on there. Lego Batman, one more. Lego Batman is a good one. Lego Batman is... Ryan, what if the entire shit Eva script is just you transcribing what happened in the hospital room and why Shinji's hand is white? Have we just given up on the subject of the stream? Yes, we have. We're not doing that. We're doing this now. We're doing this now. If you came into this expecting Doctor Who from scratch, you're going to be fucking disappointed. And if you want someone to blame, blame the Interstellar Song Contest and blame that YouTuber who decided to raise awareness for what's going on in Palestine by posing with other influencers with a Palestinian flag that was held upside fucking down. Blame that guy if you really want to blame someone. Yeah, I literally said it was making me depressed, so I'm doing this instead. Oh dear. Alright, let's fucking do. Blame Naja? No, it's not your fault, Naja. This one is 100% not on you, mate. I know me and you fight, Naja, but I do actually like you and want you around. We just fight a lot because we're both headbutters. You know what I mean? But I do like having you around. And this is not about you. I promise. I'm not against him doing something that upsets him, obviously. Yeah, no, Cookie Boy just makes silly jokes. Cookie Boy is chill. I never... It's Cookie Boy, it's all too late. I know, Naja, but I don't... Naja, I'm autistic, so I don't know whether you're going to take it the right way. And so, the best thing for me to do in terms of, like, harm reduction and taking the lowest risk is just to hedge my bets and be like, no, bro, I actually do like you. It's fine. It's okay. I think you're all like the fucking coolest, and I can't believe that you all spend as much time as you do watching me. Like, Naja watches me for fucking hours every week. They're a real one. Ryan, I'm being harassed. Can you permanently ban these people from being... Fuck off. Oh dear. The only person who's permanently banned is Ian, and I have to do that fucking manually. A really bad down. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing suggestions. I'll open up this wheel at another time to do suggestions, but there's already a year and a half's worth of fucking content here. I do know that the Doctor has been hinted to be Merlin, yes. Autismo, the YouTube short superhero, would be a fun one, to be honest. Jesus. I haven't watched you even weekly for probably a month or so. Yeah, because I haven't had the fucking pep in my step. So there's been no cosmic motivation for you to come on here. Supernatural. I have an idea that... My favourite thing about Supernatural is that season 7 of Supernatural is about evil corporatists who want to... I know they're supernatural entities, but I mean they're meant to be guys in business suits who make the world fat and lazy and stupid and docile and therefore easy to take over by manipulating corn syrup and adding stuff to the ingredients of corn syrup in order to like mollify people, basically. And the reason why I love that is because, well, number one, corn syrup is only really distributed in the US, so their plan only works in the US, implying that the US is the only country that exists, which is doubly funny because Supernatural is a fucking Canadian show, but I imagine that's a bit like New Zealand and Australia. You know how New Zealand believes that there's this big years-long, borderline hateful rivalry between New Zealand and Australia. You know, New Zealand and Australia, hated enemies from the dawn of time. Meanwhile, Australia doesn't know that New Zealand fucking exists. I imagine it's something like that. Anyway, the point is that plot of of the Supernatural season 7, that plot shows up again in Western media canon. It shows up again in the movie Logan. The movie Logan is about someone using corn syrup to kill all the mutants, and it directly rips off the plot of Supernatural season 7. And didn't that win a fucking Oscar? That's the funniest shit in the fucking world to me. Only to me. And they did that in Logan too. That's really funny. That's really funny. That's where I was going. Damn it, you're right. I know. I know. Logan rips off the plot of what had been, up to that point, the worst season of Supernatural. Ryan, can we veto all of these suggestions and do Lazy Town instead? Wait, so Logan, is that actually rips off Supernatural? I don't know if it directly rips it off, but the plot of Logan is identical to the plot of Supernatural season 7, Xavier. Identical. Najawin is right that everything does rip off Supernatural. Can I be honest? I think that Doctor Who, you know how Doctor Who ripped off Buffy? Doctor Who should rip off Supernatural next. Doctor Who should make Supernatural like the foundation for like the next 10 years of its fucking existence. For the first 5 seasons of Supernatural are some of the most perfect trash TV I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's so fucking good. I don't know about the rest of it because I stopped watching after the fucking corn syrup season. But the first 5 seasons of Supernatural are extraordinarily solid for what they are. Also, Lost Girl is pretty good as well. Destiel should be canon. What is it with Korn? Damien Dark used Korn 2 in Arrow season 4. So basically, Nick, I can explain. I actually know this, unbelievably enough. I know this. So, you know how in Britain and European countries and in Asian countries, you know when you have sweet, lovely sweet things that you go, like your candies and your some such. Well, that's all made with cane sugar. Okay, and in America, they don't use cane sugar because Americans need to be different all the fucking time. America uses corn syrup. And so, corn is inherently linked with sugar. Sugar is linked with obesity. And so, corn is a really, really, really easy way to go, oh, the fat, lazy, slovenly, cow-like population of regular people, as opposed to the super special people. It's a really easy way to like make that kind of symbolism. I eat all of the sweets. There's nothing wrong with eating sweets. Eating sweets is great. I love America, but like, it's a weird place. You got to really like roll with some stuff. Well, you definitely shouldn't rip off season 6. Korn is also like super energy dense. That's also true. I think, honestly, if you want to rip off a season of Supernatural and make it into like its own show, season 3 of Supernatural, where Dean is loses his soul and a hellhound is like chasing him to like take him to hell, and it's like a race against time where he has to like stop the villain of the season and also put his affairs in order and reconcile with his brother. That's a banger season. That's a pretty good fucking season. Why don't you write an actual screenplay format? Because, I mean, that's way too much fucking effort for something that's going to be done in 9 minutes. If I'm writing, like, a proper script that I'm going to expect actors to read, Sammy D, then I will actually write, like, a proper script that I expect actors to read. But, for the purposes of this, you're getting what you're getting, basically. I want to go to the base pro shop built inside the Memphis Pyramid. That is also the plot of the Flash episode Flashback. That's CW though, that's just them cannibalizing their own story ideas. Also, the theme park, Dolly Parton's theme park, Dollywood. Oh man, I would like to go on a road trip of all of the. I would like to go to a road trip of all of the old like blues music venues from like the early 20th century. You know, like all of the juke joints that are still like standing. I'd like to go to those. That's something I'd be really interested in doing. And Earbard's plot in Legend Season 2. Oh. Right, are you a level 1 million player? It depends on the game. Several of them, yes, though. Let's see, let me spin the wheel. Look who's talking! Has emerged with a point. I love how Brian Blessed Doctor is just hanging out there. Yeah, that's pretty sad, Xavier. Not gonna lie. Norse mythology. Well, let's go again. Why are we spinning again? Ugh. That's a good question. How long is this gonna take? I don't know, but I'm going in 7 minutes, so better take shorter than 7 minutes. You know, I've actually seen all 3 of those films. Celtic mythology, I know how you feel about current Doctor Who, Ryan, but what are some lines from New Who that you think have aged like milk? Ooh, that's a fun question. Oh, to be clear, I might be burnt out about Doctor Who, Kasumi, but I will happily bitch about Doctor Who anytime. I think the bit where the bit in the Idiot's Lantern has aged really poorly, where Rose is like, I know he's an abuser, and I know that he'll probably murder you when it turns out that you're gay, like it says in the script, but you know, he's your dad, so you know, I think that's aged pretty poorly, to be honest. It's one that immediately pops to mind, I feel. Doctor Who is Ryan's BPDX. A little bit, yeah. I'm talking about the 2008 version of Marlin. Do you mean the one? I know which one you mean. Has it aged badly though? It was bad back then too. Yeah, I would say it's aged badly because when that came out, it was completely acceptable to punch your child. So I would say that it's. I would say that things have moved on quite a bit since then, and that has aged badly. Yes, I think we forget just how fucking different 2006 was to now. Nick. There's good old JK. That's also a pretty horribly aged one. I feel like that's the very obvious one to pick up. I don't know. I feel like I don't think that stuff like the 13th Doctor ones, like Now They'll See the Real You, or The System Isn't the Problem, People Like You Are, I don't think those have necessarily aged poorly, because I think they were stinkers when they like arrived. Hello, Going Mel. I'm going to go to bat for that grind. I know your dad was apparently not the best emotion bit in the content of the episode. He clearly wants to run to him, and Rose is just urging him to. She's not guilting him. She's saying, if you want to be empathetic, you should. No, because the thing is, Vishan, even I know that my personal situation was extreme, but even in like the situation of then, which was still abuse, teaching children that they are obligated to forgive their abusive parents and to do the emotional labor to pull them back into the family fold is wrong. And just because the kid might have wanted to in the moment, because I mean, of course they feel sympathy for him, they're their fucking dad. Like, just because they feel sympathy for them doesn't mean that it's necessarily the right move. I do appreciate you going to Pat, but I don't agree with you. Different Phantoms is Farscape on here, yes. Basically, going metal, we decided that we're all fucking burnt out on Doctor Who and a little bit sick of it, and we want to do other fandoms, so I put a bunch of other fandoms on the wheel and we're going to go for them. I'm saying in the context it's not supposed to be obligation. It is, though. It is obligation. Like, he would be, by the moral standards of the story being told, the kid is a worse person if they don't forgive their abuser. And that is an unfair thing to put on a child who only knows an abusive household. And just because Rose misses her dad doesn't mean that she gets to project herself onto this kid, when she clearly has no understanding or experience or knowledge of any of these kind of complex emotional things. Because she's a dumb bitch. I don't know. I'm just not on it. I'm just not on this one. I'm sorry. Farscape is on there, though. I mean, like, I like Donna. She is better than Ruby, in my opinion. She actually challenges the Doctor. I agree. I like Donna. I like Donna a lot, too. I'll tell you one that has actually aged really well. I also want to stress that even today, legally, the guy has zero rights. His dad basically owns him. Yes. I'm just comparing it to, say, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reboot, where it ends with Charlie literally forcing Wonka to go meet his abandoner. That's weird. That's weird. But then Tim Burton is a weird dude who once said that the reason that he doesn't hire a lot of black people in his movies is because his movies are based on his dream worlds, and his dream worlds don't include black people. Look it up. It's a real thing he said. So... I just don't really trust anything that Tim Burton has put forward artistically whatsoever. Remember when Ryan Sinclair said you shouldn't give your child for adoption even though you clearly think you're not going to be a good dad? I think that if you have a child and you do not believe that you are equipped to handle that child, and you believe that forcing yourself to go through that anyway will probably harm that child in the long term, I think that putting that child up for adoption is one of the bravest and kindest things that you can possibly do, and it is a sacrifice that most people have no idea, like, the like magnitude of it. That's what I honestly think about that. Why would you admit to be racist? That's quite weird of him. Well, he said it in the early 90s when he was like Hollywood wunderkind. And you've got to understand that in the early 90s and late 80s, if you were like Hollywood wunderkind, like you were allowed to get away with anything you basically wanted. You know, David Bowie spent like 3 years just dressing up as a Nazi, right? Like, David Bowie just had a Nazi phase, and we all just ignore it and pretend it didn't happen. Like, all the stuff that we get shocked at now used to happen back in the day, too. We just didn't really acknowledge it because media permeation wasn't the same as it was. Yeah, exactly. Fuck the Saranga conundrum. To be fair, it depends on the person. There are some people who use, oh, I don't trust myself as a crutch to not self-improve when they're clearly capable of rising to the task. That is true. However, I don't know if it's worth risking a child's potential future on, like, rolling a d20 on that. Reminds me of the guy who played Seinfeld dated a minor. Did you know that aside from like basing an entire career on stealing black music and then passing it off as his own, Jimmy Page was also a PDF file? Just randomly reminded me of that. For some reason, the fact that Jimmy Page had like a 14-year-old slave, basically. And we're all just like, oh, it's Jimmy Page though, it's fine. It's fine. Put him on Jules Holland. Like, we all know that as a matter of public record. You're rolling a d20 with adoption, dude. I know, but I think if a person, it's like quitting smoking. Like, the person has to absolutely know that that's what they want to adopt. Like, they have to absolutely know. Or you're rolling a d20 with adoption, orphanages, and foster are flawed systems. It's the government. That's fair. Fuck Chibnall's writing in general. Like, if anyone else had written the 13th Doctor, it could have been better. Don't get me started on Elvis. That's also true. That's also true. I agree with you, but as I said, it really depends. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely messy and it's definitely messy and it's definitely nuanced and it's definitely complicated. Just like all things, with regards to like kids and how kids should be like brought up, because no one knows ahead of time what it's like to bring up a kid. So, I mean, we just kind of muddle through the best we can. But I can definitely say that if someone feels that they're not ready to have a kid and that they feel like they can't have a kid, like, that's worthy of being respected. If someone genuinely doesn't believe they'd make a good parent, they probably wouldn't. And that's not something that you can hold against them. Do not, Cookie Boy, please don't ask people to cease existing. I must be number one or I'll die. There's a video of Sean Connery saying you should slap women, and all the comments are like, yeah, based. For fuck's sake. Definitively, though, I would say when it comes to any kind of like any kind of aspect of childcare, I have worked in childcare, by the way. I personally lean towards what the data says, because the data is reliable. What I like about data is you can't fucking argue with it, because it's data. And if the data tells you to go in a direction, you should probably fucking go in it. And like stuff like people's feelings and people's like attitudes and people's prejudices shouldn't really factor into it. But that's in like a perfect world. Look, Ryan, look, 15 leaving Belinda with his child and running off was incredible and very well written. We can all agree. I agree. I think the decision to make the first Black Doctor a fucking deadbeat dad was fucking incredibly based from Russell T Davies. Definitely not disgusting and reductive. And like, honestly, if Russell T Davies isn't like outwardly racist, he doesn't have any black friends, and like it shows. I agree, people shouldn't argue with data. Generally, no, people shouldn't argue with data. That is true. You can interpret data differently, but you can't make it move with the sheer force of your opinion. No. I seen one of your videos, and basically I think they should add Frobisher to new Doctor Who better than it. Yeah, no, I would like them to add Frobisher to Doctor Who as well. I think people disagreeing with data presented are being inherently irrational. I think it depends on how the data is being presented, and I think it depends on what the data is being interpreted to represent as well, Naja. Because like, you're gonna need to give me a second to think up a good example, but while I blow my nose. The idea I found from a comment on a Reddit post about that one's master in the comment has said that maybe after Missy they hated they couldn't stay changed like an addict. I think that Chris Chibnall just wanted the master to be evil again and didn't give a fuck. And like, honestly, it doesn't really seem like Chris Chibnall understands character development, and it seems like he kind of hates it, so feelings don't care about the facts. True, it's very true. It's very true. But like, that's a good alright, I'll give you an example, Najawin. America does not produce as much CO2 as China, right? Therefore climate change is not a problem. Ha! I used a fact. I used data. You can't argue with data. Does that mean that I'm right? No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. That would be ridiculous. See, that's the thing. That's the thing for me, is like, data is data, but people are fucking people. And it is really easy to push a lie using data and using the truth. I never really bought Missy being redeemed. Too much happened off screen. I didn't necessarily see it as Missy being redeemed. I saw it as opening a window to the Master being a more complex character. I think it opened the window from the Master being like a two-dimensional villain to a three-dimensional villain. Like, I always... Well, that's a non sequitur, so no. And yet, Naja, 40% of the US believes that. People are fucking people. Well, better than other things. Yeah, but in its How Dewan played it, the commentator said something that is believed to be self-hatred in the performance when the Master was talking to the Doctor. I don't think they buy that argument specifically. I guarantee, right? I guarantee, Naja, I guarantee, this is anecdotal, but I guarantee that you go to the average red cat wearing I just want to grill motherfuckers barbecue, you see all of these dudes sat around in their wife beaters, and I say with the words out of my mouth, hey, America produces less CO2 than China, therefore why should we worry about climate change? It's bullshit, right? I guarantee that all of them would be like, yeah, that's true. Am I fucking wrong? You know I'm right. You know I'm right in your soul. I mean, I like Victoria and Clara better than the one we got, but she did grow on me. I like Clara. Clara's amazing. It's hard to explain the comment. I feel like I'm having 4 conversations at once, and it's making my brain bleed. We haven't even spun the wheel in a bit. Hang on. I am enjoying this more than, like, I would have, though, so I appreciate you guys. I think they'd just be expressing agreement with the conclusion, to be honest. Yes! Yes, they fucking would! Yes, they fucking would! Because it rubs on their nipples and tells them they're a good boy! Yes! We've gotten somewhere! Yes! Yes! Friday the 13th. Yes! Chuck, yep. I'm saying that reasoning doesn't matter as long as the reasoning makes someone feel good, Naja. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing either. I'm just saying it's something that I've fucking noticed. I could talk. By the same token of what I just said, I can talk my redneck friends into supporting socialist policies just by the wording I use, because people are fucking animals. We're all just fucking animals. The brain is not a logic machine. The brain is a survival machine. It does what it thinks is best to survive, and what is best to survive in most cases, because things that threaten your survival tend to come at you pretty fucking fast, is they will find the simplest pattern possible and then cling to that as the reality that they accept. A fact is a fact, but a fact does not become an accepted fact until you put on some fucking lipstick and some makeup. I'm done with my speech. Okay. You can clip that if you want. I think this is the best episode we've done in a long time. So you heard to subscribe. Yeah, baby. Like they're not even yeah! Yes! So the premise is irrelevant. Fifth Doctor speech. All I'm saying is that if you want people to accept the truth, you have to doll the truth up in a little bit of razzle dazzle. Because people are dumb and like razzle dazzle. And I'm not saying that the average person is stupid, because they're not. The average person is of average intelligence. But we're all monkeys. All of us. Me included. Me included. You know what? I think I've said this before, but this is a really good example of what I mean about, like, the dumb hog human brain, okay? Alright? I know, intellectually, I know that wartime propaganda is wartime propaganda. However, whenever they show the bit in Doctor Who with Matt Smith in Victory of the Daleks, where the Spitfires fly up into space and shoot the Dalek spaceship, and it's like, Danny boy to the Doctor, and they like save the day, I well up a little bit inside, because to me, those are our boys, and I think about all of the young men and women who sacrificed everything during that difficult time in history, because I, like the rest of you and like the rest of humanity, have a dumb hog brain. Meanwhile, we've got Nasha here repeating the same point with different wording. And brother, I get you. I get you. It does go hard. It hits like a core. Thank God you have me who is smarter than everyone and always uses logic. Propaganda can still be entertaining. I've got a whole book on Russian propaganda photographs. Propaganda can be mad entertaining. My favourite video game of all time right now is Helldivers 2, and that's a whole game about how propaganda can be entertaining as fuck. Which means I should be number one. I cried during 1917 twice, which confused me because Sam added it for it said that minorities don't feel empathy for white people. Please don't explain. Please, Ryan, please explain this. I can explain this. So Sam Hyde and Nick Fuentes, they are broken inside and they have darkness in their souls. And because they have darkness in their souls, you have to understand that they're basically subhuman, okay? Because of that, they feel a need to lash out and project this lack of empathy onto convenient groups for monetizable content. Spin the wheel? No. Yeah, You're conditionally white? Oh my god. Sex in the City. Let's spin again. The Garbage Pail Kids movie. Empathy is a weakness, Elon Musk, I think. You know who was a big proponent of empathy, though? Fucking Sun Tzu was a big proponent of empathy. And so were the people who followed his teachings. Marcus Aurelius was a big proponent of empathy. All of the great leaders and thinkers who have published works that are seen by the experts of those fields as the fuck around and find out works of their respective fields. By which I mean, if you ignore these works, you will find out. All of them promote empathy, because empathy is the most powerful force in humanity. Ryan, what the fuck is the win condition? Depends on the game. Actually, we kind of do ignore Marcus Aurelius. Nobody ignores Sun Tzu, though. Alright, I am gonna head off now. Marquis de Sade felt the empathy. Yeah, but he was a bitch. Yeah, but Marquis de Sade was like a greasy little bitch, so who gives a fuck? I thought it was love, my bad. No, love is also really powerful, but empathy is what you need. Empathy is like one of the they're the same fucking thing. I don't know why I'm drawing a distinction, because at the end of the day, empathy is in itself an act of love. You're so right. You're so right, Nick. There we are, learning things all the time. I wish the stream could just be about stuff like that. Man. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Have you decided on one? I have not decided on one. I think I might talk about it on the Discord, and I might talk about it tonight on Twitch. No, we don't know who won the wheel, and you'll never know who won the wheel. Nobody won the wheel. Everyone won the wheel. You won the wheel. I won the wheel. I can't believe we won the wheel. Who could have won the wheel?